Hey everybody, Crypto Chris here, coming to you live on Monday, July the 15th, 16th, I believe. So, I've already invited Joe. Here he comes. We got a lot to talk about today. Uh-oh. I hit the wrong button, y'all. Hey, Miss Dawn, I see you. Miss Bethany, I see you. So, looks like we got quite a bit of things to talk about today. The biggest thing we're going to talk about today is going to be burning crypto. Hey, Joe.
Hey, buddy, what are you doing?
I'm doing great. Sorry. How are you?
Terrible.
I know you're feeling under the weather with the sinuses.
Man, these allergies are killing me, buddy. Sorry I look so bad, guys.
It's all good, brother. It's all good. Don't worry about it.
Just trying. Yeah. Sinus medicine is not working.
Yeah. Gonna have to get a new one, my friend.
I know.
We were just talking about that, right? So
I'm telling you, he's like, oh yeah, quit working. I was like, what do you mean? Yeah. What, that's normal? And she's like, yeah. I was like, oh, I didn't know that. I've never really taken allergy medicine, you know?
Welcome to the world of drugs.
No, I know, yeah.
Right? So hi everybody. It's good to see you guys on Monday. Hope everybody had a fantastic weekend. Spent a lot of time on Sunday with their family. Did the fun stuff. I know my entire Sunday was spent planning out all the things we're going to do. And so, yeah, it was a lot of fun. What's that?
News back on that? On vacation, did you get your news on it?
Yes, just now. We're clear to go.
All right.
Yep.
Clear for takeoff.
We're clear for takeoff.
When are you planning on doing this? Okay. Right on. I understand. I'll shut up.
I got corn, you know.
Corn.
Friend of mine says, why do you say you got corn? I said, well, how does it grow? They said, on ears. I said, enough said. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Correct. So,
awesome.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. And hopefully between now and then, I'll be able to give you guys some details. But unfortunately, little pictures have big ears.
Up and count years. Broken reed.
So, hey, Joe, what did you do on Sunday? Did you rest? Man, you needed to get some rest.
Yeah, I did. But then about Sunday night, man, when my sinuses started really, but I started, and then on mine, it's all the drainage real bad. And so it makes you, like not happy.
Understood.
Rest and kind of hung out and really just enjoyed, relaxing.
That's a wonderful thing, brother. I'm so glad to hear that.
Good time with Gloria. Yeah.
Really glad to hear that. Really glad to hear that.
I'm eating last night to eat.
Uh-huh.
Okay, okay. So we had some like egg noodles.
Yeah.
And I had some sausage and I had white rice.
Mm-hmm.
So the egg noodle, sausage, and white rice all went in the skillet. And then it got Italian cheese. So
okay.
It was kind of like it was one of those things where I wasn't sure if it was really delicious or not quite. Gloria didn't eat it.
Gloria didn't eat it. She was like, that doesn't resemble anything that looks like I want to eat it, so I'm just not going to bother.
Exactly. She does that sometimes when I get creative cooking.
That's okay. It's all right. So
I was I'd make something amazing.
I know, right?
It wasn't terrible or nothing, but it wasn't exactly. I don't think I'd order it at a restaurant.
Hey, you give it a fancy name.
That makes sense.
Give it a fancy name, and you probably would.
I'm telling you, yeah, it's like sausage.
So last week we did a lot of talking about respect. We did a lot of talking about business building. We did a lot of talking about the fact that September is coming. we did a lot of talking about spending time with our families. So this week we're going to kick off by talking about a little bit of house cleaning. And one of the things that Krypto does for house cleaning is really bizarre, right? So it's what's that?
Let's see where you're going with that now. I was like,
It's really bizarre. You know, the house cleaning is really bizarre. So this morning I got up and the first thing I did, obviously, which I do every morning, is grab the coffee, turned on the computer, and was putting my good mornings and sending my coffee wishes to everybody. And the funny thing was that about every third post on Facebook was something about burning crypto. And I was like, what? Burning crypto? You know, because of course it was early in the morning. I had not had this yet. Okay. And so I was like, what are they talking about? You know, because I thought maybe I had pretty much taken the entire weekend off from social media. I hadn't even kept up with the price of Bitcoin. So I didn't know, you know, whether something was going on or what. So I followed a couple of them and looked around, and, you know, it wasn't anything new. It was what we know about burning crypto. And so, you know, I wanted to bring that up because, you know, Joe, it kind of made me realize that a lot of people don't know all this vocabulary, and they don't know all these little intricacies in and ins and outs, you know? So you want to burn some crypto, Joe?
yeah, that's fine. I got something just burning that I need to talk to you about.
Okay.
Burning inside.
So,
no, but yeah, I'll talk to you about burning crypto. Okay, guys, what they're talking about is, let's say you got an ICO,
right?
Okay, and so your ICO says, hey man, we need to raise $1 million. They're usually a whole lot more than that, but case in point, that article we read in Forbes was like they just want to raise 300,000 on their initial.
Right.
But anyways, so you want to raise $1 million, and you're like, so I'm gonna put out 21 million coins. Okay, we're just using 21 million because that's our Bitcoin coin number that we all know, or we should know that.
We should know. Mm-hmm.
21 million. There's only going to be 21 million. Blah blah blah. You know. So then they go, and anything that doesn't sell, we're going to burn it. And they'll tell you this in the beginning because you're going, well, why would you burn what doesn't sell? Well, because then you got a bunch of crap out there just sitting. You know, I mean, that can still be sold, that can be purchased at less of a price still than yours. And so you have it devalues. You know, if you have something worth $1 million, if you're trying to get $1 million and you got, you know, 21 million coins to make that $1 million, okay? Each coin just needs to be worth so much to get to $1 million, let's say.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you get to that $1 million, just drop those coins. If you drop to, you know, 5 million coins, then look at that.
Right.
You know, that value goes up, and there's not so much out there. It's a way to make their investors more money. That's what it's for. It gives you more of a stake, basically. I mean,
Absolutely.
If you look at it like shares in something, and there's, you know, 5 million shares, and now you have, you know, 10,000 of 5 million, not 10,000 of 21 million. So obviously, more value.
Right.
That's basic.
So Forbes's answer, just in case anybody's wondering, you know, Joe did a great job explaining that, and that's absolutely correct. Okay. But I think that maybe for the sake of our show, we'll give everybody a definition. And so this is not mine or Joe's definition. This is Forbes' definition, and it's in its simplest form, burning a token means that you are making a token permanently unspendable. Permanently unspendable. So a lot of ways they do that is they'll take it out of the system. How could they possibly take it out of the system? Well, they could send it to a hash or a wallet that they don't have the keys to. Okay, they could send it to me, and I promise I won't spend it. I can give them a wallet address.
Yeah. I forgot the 12-step code thing. I forgot it.
Yeah, absolutely. I forgot the code. Here's a wallet. I don't know what the code is, you know.
You know, when I was reading the article, that particular Forbes one, I got to thinking, and maybe we should walk everybody through building an ICO on something.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know, look, everybody, I like teaching everybody all this stuff. Together, Chris and I put an ICO together, real pretty, what we know. You know what I mean? And like everybody else could maybe take a group part of it. You know, like somebody help work on the white paper, or somebody, you know, could do like a big group thing if you guys want to learn this stuff. Because the best way to learn it is just to do it.
Right.
And it doesn't have to go anywhere. I mean, it can basically be a pretend ICO, or we can make a real one. I mean,
right.
So might as well make it real, you know, for something. I mean, you know what I mean? But, you know, and we could go through design and putting a token together and everything and all that stuff. I mean, it'd be a really neat learning exercise. But I don't know if anybody really wants to learn it. Like I do, but because I want to know everything about everything. A lot of people are like,
well, and here's the simple answer to that, Joe, is, you know, at the end of the day, I think most people want to know stuff. They just want somebody else to kind of say, hey, let's do this. So, you know, we'll throw it out there, and if folks want to do one, then we'll put together one. We'll do a practice one, right? That's a sample, so to speak.
yeah.
And then, you know, if everybody wants to and can agree on a charity or whatever that all of the, you know, proceeds would go to, then we could most certainly go ahead and go through it all the way and launch it and, you know, see what happens. I mean, at the end of the day, guys, everything starts right here with an idea, okay? With an idea. And Joe is he's dead on when he says, you know, people should know how to do this stuff, right? And we should. We should definitely want to know how to do this stuff. We should definitely, excuse me, we should definitely get involved in creating these things, because actually doing something is the best way to learn it. So you do something and you make a mistake, right? And it's like, oh, that didn't work, dude. We got to change that. We, you know, that won't go that way, and that block won't fit there, and you know, and so at the risk of sounding really stupid, right? Like, you know, the only good way to learn is to do it.
Right.
And so I think it's a great idea. You know, the idea behind burning tokens, though, y'all, is no. We never stay on track. What are you talking about? It's to fuel the cycle of appreciation. Okay, so that's the main goal behind it. That's kind of why people want to do it. You know, it's nothing more. You know, and this is really going to throw people, especially this might make them really decide that they want to do an ICO, Joe, because at the end of the day, all you're really doing, these tokens, these coins, all this stuff, it's just public smart contracts, y'all. It just has a value attached to it. That's all. It's just a smart contract. So when you hear things like smart contracts, people get like this, right?
Yeah.
And they're like, I don't know what that means. Well, you know, the blockchain, what a beautiful thing. That's what I'm going to say about the blockchain. I love it.
I don't really know what a smart contract is.
What's that?
Look it up. I'm sure we're in the training.
Yeah, I think it might be.
I mean, I can't remember to tell you right where it's at because I took the training. You know what I mean? But, and like I use the training as a springboard for more education. You know what I mean? Like to delve deeper into this. That's why I say stuff all the time. Like I can make coins. I can create a ICO. I can do this. I can do this. And it's not because I'm a genius and I figured it out. I mean, it's because like I looked it up. I'm sorry. I went, I do this. Oh man, hey, wait, I can make money doing this. Hey, this might be a good idea. Hey, wait a second. I can start a token that's for a good reason, and then people are going to give me money. Because when I wanted to start a token, I think it was Pam that asked me, she's like, well, what are you going to do with the money? I was like, what money? She's like, the money from it. I was like, oh, I didn't even think about it like that. She's like, major part, you're going to get money. I was like,
right,
oh.
Right. Speaking of Pam, y'all, I want to make sure, sorry, Joe. I want to make sure that everybody knows that Pam is not ignoring anyone. She sent me a message and won't let me know her internet is down. She's been going to a coffee shop to check in and check messages and stuff. So if you need Pam and you haven't been able to get a hold of her, you're going to have to call her. Okay? You're going to have to call her.
I just feel sorry for her because she lives in a hole in the ground.
I know, right? And she chose to live in a hole in the ground. Hello.
Like, what?
She chose to live in a hole in the ground, too.
Poor thing. Ain't got no electricity or nothing.
Her got solar. Her got solar.
Poor thing's got to live off batteries. Live in a hole in the ground.
We give Pam a hard time. We love Pam to death. She's a very interesting lady. If you ever have the opportunity to talk with her or, just shoot the crap with her, it doesn't have to be about business. Just get to know people. She is a fascinating person, really. Truly.
Honest stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And really, really interesting person.
Right. Absolutely.
I was thinking she could write the words.
She probably could in her sleep.
That's what I'm thinking. Yeah, we got to
probably in her sleep, So, I want to say that I enjoyed Saturday, our Q&A Saturday. I really enjoyed that.
I got yelled at by Gloria later.
Why?
I put her on the spot and asked her a question. She's like,
"That's okay. If you hadn't have done it, I would have." So she'd have fussed at me. So
yeah, she's getting out the frying pans. I got to get her in that cast iron.
Well, I'm going to get a cup of coffee.
I'm so good. Yeah.
I'm going to get a cup of coffee. Encourage these nice folks to get their questions ready for Saturday. Hey, you'll be doing Saturday by yourself, solo.
Hey, oh yeah. Hey, you know what we could be doing? If anybody really is interested in any of this ICO stuff, I'm trying to push something, but I just like doing stuff. You know what I mean? And I like doing stuff as a group. You know what I mean? And it's just things flow better. And I may think I have a great idea, and it may be stupid when somebody else says it back to me. And I'm like, oh, that's a bad idea. Can't do that. Or there might be another idea, and it's just the whole the brainstorming of it, the mind. What do they call it? The training?
Mastermind.
Masterminding. Yeah, or brain call it, but masterminding. Yeah. That's good. That's a session.
Right.
There's government things where all people do is sit around and think about stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Really smart. You know what I mean? Like really, really educated. Some people aren't that educated though. Like far as they're just really smart. Like
right. Well, education comes from all different places, and I was reading some over the weekend, and it wasn't really. I'm gonna raise both hands and admit that I was reading this weekend, but it wasn't anything to do with business. It was all for pleasure. And one of the things that I was reading about over the weekend was that, it used to be that to be considered an educated person, you had to go to school, you had to go to college, you had to spend $80,000, $100,000, $200,000. You had to have this degree and this bachelor's and that master's and all this other stuff. And now they're saying that some of the most educated people in the world and in history have not been college graduates. As a matter of fact, primarily most of them didn't even finish high school. So I want people to understand, I want people to get the picture that, when we say educated, we're not necessarily meaning that you got to go to college. We're saying that education comes from all different walks of life and from all different areas. I consider a lot of people that I communicate with, mastermind with, talk with on a daily basis. I consider them to be very educated, and I don't have a clue what their scholastic background is. Right? I have no idea.
Yeah. No, I understand that completely. Yeah, and right now, at the time in life that we live, there's so much information out there. If you want to know something, Google it,
right?
Or YouTube, and you can watch something about it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's perfect information, but if you really want to learn something, go as many angles as you can to get as much information and formulate it all. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Okay, this does this. this and this does this and this does this. Well, this guy said this, this and this, this and this. Well, this is what I think. Boom.
Right.
You know, and that's the thing, man. People are a lot smarter than they think they are.
Right. Well,
you know, people, we don't give ourselves enough credit.
But you know, Joe, there's a reason for that.
Because people knock them down. I don't know, negativity.
Well, you know, all our life we're from the time we're younger than my son, right?
Yeah.
Like he's just a pygmy, really. But you know, they tell him you got to go to school, you got to get good grades because you want to get into a great college, and then when you go to college, you got to get more good grades, and you got to take more classes, and then you got to decide what you're going to do. And then when you decide what you're going to do, you're probably going to need a bachelor's and a master's and an associate's degree and 2 or 3 different things. Well, you know, when that's pounded in your head and coming at you from 19 million directions all at one time, from the time you're 5 years old till the time you graduate high school and longer, then it becomes a mental issue. And I don't mean the kind you have to go see a doctor for, okay? But it becomes a mental issue because in your head is talking all the time. I got to do this. I got to do this. I got to do this. I need to know this. I need to go to school. I need to get this grade. I need to da 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 da. Why do we put so much pressure on our kids?
I don't really know.
You know, I struggle with that one. As a dadpreneur, I'm going to be honest. I struggle with that one. I want my son to do the best he can do in school, but then I sit back in the chair and I think, God, how much of this crap is he really going to need?
Not much of it. I mean, really not. You know,
just saying.
You need math and verbal skills, enough science to know where to put the gas in the car, and not throw a lighter in with it.
He completely understands combustible engines, by the way.
Good. See what I mean? Perfect. He can just take school.
Right?
If they can read, write, and spell, I mean.
Well, dude, I was making sure that he got his homework done this year, remember? And he was doing 2nd grade math, and I was like, I've never seen this stuff before in my life.
Man, they change the way you do stuff. Right anymore, apparently.
Well, as high as I went in math was calculus.
Pretty high. Calculus, you know.
I didn't say I was good at it. I said I went that high.
Yeah.
I wasn't good at it, y'all. I really wasn't. You know, I figured out at a young, early age that all I needed to know was how to count my money. Okay? I really learned that at a very early age. All I needed to know was to know how much money I had in my pocket, what it was going to cost me to live to the next time I got some more money. And, you know, I know that sounds crazy, but at the end of the day, I mean, really think about it. Do you do that much more math? Well, if you're a contractor like Joe, you do a lot of math, you know?
Yeah, you do a lot of trig. But you don't even doing. You wouldn't know it was trig if you didn't know it.
Right.
It was trig. I mean, you know what I mean? Or, you know, the algebraic stuff you do is, you know, footage and linear footage and, you know what I mean?
I do.
You don't need a year to learn how to do the stuff that you really need to do in real life for the most part. You know what I mean? It's not. I mean, it's pretty simple. You know what I mean? Like, you know, if you're a lot of trigonometry, you know, and they get really good at it, and you're like, what the hell? How'd you do that? Like, it's just this to this to this. And you're like,
right?
Concrete, you have to figure in cubes.
Yep.
You know, you use cubic feet because your depth. You know, it's not just length and width; it's depth also. You know, and all that stuff. But there's a lot of math, but it's not. There's 4 or 5 things you need to know. That's it.
Right.
You know, not years worth of it being pounded in your head, you know, and you failing a class or not getting into college or something or not something because, you know, you weren't all that great at it.
Exactly.
I don't show real world stuff. I don't know if they do now. I mean, when I was in school, they didn't show any practicality to any of it. You know what I mean? So it's just learn it. Like, why? Like, what the hell do I need to know this for?
Right.
And then figure out the size of the roof on the house.
Excuse me.
You're like, oh, let's find the pit. You know, by doing rise or run and things like that, you know, and it's not practical. You know what I mean? That's why now I've gone to vocational schools also. And I went to a vocational school to learn stuff I already knew because I had to get certified on it kind of thing, you know. Back when I was a machinist years and years ago. And I was kind of like, well, okay. And I had no idea what all I kind of knew, what I knew, until they're like, no, this is something to know. I was like, oh, I just know that. I mean, what do you mean? I do that every day.
It's just natural.
I was making aircraft parts. You know what I mean? I'm like, I know how to do that. You know.
Well, you know, one of the things I think we fail at in the school system, and this is just my opinion, and everybody has an opinion. You guys may disagree with me, and you know, I completely respect if you disagree. That is completely fine. I've only been quote unquote technically a parent for a year, so I could be completely wrong. However, what I will say is that, you know, I don't see enough. I don't see enough emphasis on communication. And if there's one thing in life that you absolutely, positively, without a shadow of a doubt, have to have and be good at, is communication. And
That's
you
true.
know, so with my son, I really encourage him to communicate. And sometimes he communicates in a way I really don't want him to. But you know, I can't say too much because I encouraged him to communicate, right? So,
Right.
but he'll come up with something, you know, that I don't really want to hear or didn't ask for,
Yeah.
you know, and
No.
but you know, he's communicating, and then he'll
Yeah.
say, and I'll say, but why did you tell me that? And he'll say, well, Dad, you tell me to communicate. I'm like, yeah, I do.
Yeah, you do. Now, like in school communication, like with Nixon, that's not a problem because she doesn't ever shut up.
Well, but there's more to communication than just talking too. You know, like okay, this is a good example. This is a great dadpreneur example for this live call. The other day,
Yeah.
we ate on the lanai for the first time in probably a month. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, what you guys don't know, what you guys really don't know is this. My kid, when he sits down to eat, it is nonstop. I'm like, how do you eat? If you would be quiet, you could eat, right? So we literally
Yeah.
put him on a timer. So we're sitting outside on the lanai and we're eating, right? And
Yeah.
and I kept telling him, be quiet. Shh. Every time he'd open his mouth, I'd say, listen, shh, listen. And he was so mad. Oh, he was so mad. I did that the entire meal, which was the most peaceful meal we've had in a while. Okay. But anyway, that's another story. But at the end, he wanted to get up. And so we're teaching him to be
Like,
mannerful and polite. And so he asked, may I be excused? And I said, nope, you can't. And he's like, why not? I'm done. I'm like, no, you're not done. You did an exercise during your meal and you don't even realize it. So now I want you to tell me every single thing that you heard while you were eating. He named off
yeah.
like 3 things. I named off like 50.
Oh, he's busy eating.
No, he wasn't. He was
No,
in
he
his
was.
he was in his own head, and truth be told, he was probably cussing me for not letting him talk.
He was. I know the feeling.
So, you know, when you're talking to people about communication, make sure that they understand that a very large portion of communication is actually listening. And then beyond listening is being able to relay the information that they've heard in a logical sequence where it makes sense to someone else. Okay. So yeah, I will say this, as much as I like to talk, and I took in school, I was the kid that took all of the language arts programs, public speaking, all of this stuff. Like I've got trophies and awards that go back all the way through middle school because I did all that stuff, right? But you know what? When I got out into the real world, I got to be honest with you, I wasn't a good communicator. I did not communicate well at all. So it was a detriment to me. It was a huge learning curve because when I graduated school, I automatically thought everybody wanted to hear everything I had to say. It was important to me, so it had to be important, right?
Exactly.
Not so much. Can you relate, Joe?
Yeah. Actually, though, you know, when I was in school, I was real quiet. I didn't really come out of my shell till I was about 1.
Really?
talking one day and didn't stop.
Uh,
Quiet for so long. 20 years of stuff. I hadn't even started talking yet. I'm still catching up. For all those years I was quiet.
God love Gloria.
When I was a kid, man, I never said anything until I got in the car. And then my parents were just like, really? That's back when you could stand up in the back seat in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
Seat belts and all that crap.
Right in their ear.
Yeah, right in their ear. And they're just like, now my kids do it to me because I get in the car and Nixon's just, I'm like,
payback.
Pay attention to driving. It's like, you can't talk to me.
Payback.
Oh, I know it's payback, buddy. It sure is.
All right. So listen, guys, gals.
Hold on. Nixon talking thing. Hold on, it's funny. I go in for a, to get our report cards. When they don't send the report cards home, you go get them from the teacher. Okay. And you have a little meeting stuff. And I was like, okay, so how's she doing? She's doing great, except she won't be quiet. I was like, well, I'm going to have to leave that one up to you because I'm not here. You can tell her dad's going to beat her when she gets home, but she knows that's not true. And she's like, and she knows that I've already told her teacher that I'm smarter than you, so because she's told you I told you. So they got her sitting plumb over in the corner, right, by herself. There's like a little desk over there by itself. And I was like, no one ever told me you guys had her in the corner. Why did you tell me that? Like, yelled at her or something. And I was like, well, she's not bad. She just won't be quiet. I was like, well, I know, because she talks a lot. So like, and she had like straight A's, like A's and B's. You know what I mean?
She's just communicating.
She's just communicating, But I guess when she communicates more than the teacher.
Yeah, that could be a problem. That could sincerely be a problem.
Yeah, but she makes good grades and not get in trouble. I mean, she's just talkative, She'll pay attention.
Oh, I understand.
I think a lot of kids get bored. They're a little bit smarter than we think they are. And like they learn something, then they keep going over it and keep going over it and keep going over it and keep going. And there's like, ugh. Well, like, homework with her. And it's like, we're doing the same damn thing all the time.
Yes. I can identify with that last year. It was very frustrating for me. I can't imagine what it was like for the kids. But the thing that I was hearing from my son was, but Dad, most of the kids haven't got it yet. I'm like, really? We're on like 4 weeks of the same thing and they haven't got it yet? He was like, I got it the first time Miss Rain told me. I was like, yeah, I'm sure you did.
Yeah, I think they need to find better ways to explain some stuff.
Yeah. Well, the teachers don't understand the lessons. How are the kids going to understand them?
She brought homework home that I didn't know how to do. I don't even understand. Some stuff I didn't even understand what they were asking.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and then I got into it with the teacher about there being a difference in rows and columns. This is a row. This is a... And so we did something with rows, and it was right. And I was like, this is right. And she's like, it came back all wrong. I was like, no, you're wrong. Like, you need to go take your ass back to school. Don't tell me I'm wrong. I was like, I know the difference. Like,
Joe, I have a request.
It's the easiest.
I have a request.
What?
When you have a parent teachers conference this year, will you let me know in enough advance so I can come watch?
They're funny.
It's all good, really, honestly. It really is, but here's the thing. When you're in anything, okay, and so today's main crypto topic was burning crypto, right? And then our subtopic for the day is really communication. And so, you've got to communicate with yourself, okay, first. When you're in business, we're talking about in business, you got to communicate with yourself first, because you got to get your brain in the same motion that your body's going in. Because before you get it, nobody else is going to get it before you get it. I promise. If you don't have it, no one else is going to have it. That's just the way it is. So you got to communicate with yourself. You've got to be a great listener, because obviously you have partners, right? You have teammates, you partners, up and down, right? Sideways, maybe, I don't know. So you've got to be a good listener. you've got to be able to problem solve. That's a good part of communication. Most people forget the problem solving, you know?
Problems. It really is. I don't think there's enough emphasis put on in things that we see, and we go through a lot of training and stuff, and there's not enough emphasis put on problem solving, recognizing and solving problems. You know, sometimes people even recognizing the problems or recognition or whatever you want to say.
Right.
It's hard sometimes too. You know, I mean, nobody wants to point fingers at themselves ever. You know.
Correct.
And you have to step out of your bubble and look at everything from in without, oh, I'm guilty, oh, I'm not guilty, oh, you know, I mean, you got to be able to tell yourself you're doing things wrong, you know, if you are, or look at yourself honestly, you know, and, you know, identify problems and try to fix them if you want to. You know what I mean? Hey, if you don't want to, don't fix them.
Well, here's the thing is, you know, when I identify a problem, okay, in business, and this is just me, y'all, but this may help, right? Like if I identify a problem, no matter what it is, big or small, it doesn't matter, and I need to bring it to someone else's attention. Before I bring that problem to someone else's attention, the first thing I do is research the problem. I want to break the problem down. This is the problem and this is why. And then I want to formulate a plausible solution, right? So it helps me to be a good problem solver because now I've identified the problem, I've dissected the problem. So how can we fix the problem? What are some ways we could fix the problem? So then when you go to, you know, your upline, your sideline, your business partners, whoever it is, hell, it can even be your spouse. You know, look, babe, we got this problem. This is it. You know, I figured out the problem, and I think that this is why we have the problem, you know. And here's a couple different ways that maybe we could solve the problem, okay? That comes across better in communication. See, I'm tying all this back to communication. That comes across better in communication than if you just, you know, constantly complain and whine and talk about all the things that are wrong and nothing's ever right and this didn't go this way and that didn't go. Well, you know what? You can change that stuff, okay? So it would be my suggestion, especially in your team. And you can implement this today, right? Like you could send out a message to your team. We all have group rooms, and God knows we have got more communication tools that don't get used properly than anybody on the planet, okay? But you could just send out a little thing to your team and say, hey, I don't mind discussing problems. I don't mind problem solving. But when you identify a problem, how about come to me with the solution that you think would be the best when you bring up the problem? You know, that's a really smart thing to do, y'all. So what? It takes a day or two when you first start. Okay, who cares? You identified a problem. How long did that take? A few seconds. Okay, no time lost there, right? So then dissect the problem. What is the actual problem, right? Is team not being built? Are you not getting credit for work done? You know, what is the issue? The issue. And then how can you possibly solve it?
Yeah. Like the other day, you know, I was talking to Gloria and she was saying, you know, that I had to go into work for her because, you know, everything doesn't magically get done around the house, like laundry and everything. And I told her, the problem was, I think you get a program for me too.
Okay, we'll get you a program.
Yeah.
We'll call it the Joe program.
Yeah, it's like
yeah, absolutely. So,
but that was well, no, that actually conversation did happen, but but at the same time, you know, that's the thing. You know, balance, communication. You know, problem solve. You know, laundry is backing up. Had to get done. You know what I mean? She doesn't trust me to do the laundry too much.
I wouldn't trust you to do the laundry either. I'm pretty sure the white wouldn't come out white.
Yeah, probably not.
No.
Who knows?
Mm-mm. Nope.
I just washed cold.
Huh?
I wash everything on cold.
Well, that's good. It'll bleed less that way.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
put detergent in. But man, we got one of them fancy newfangled ones. Because we went a few years back, we went and bought new washers and dryers. And I was like, just buy the cheap one that I know how to operate. No.
You see, that's what Jeff said too. He's like, can we just get a regular washing machine with a dial and a knob and a flip switch, and it's got a thing in the middle? And I'm like, no, they tear up the clothes. No, I don't want that thing in the middle. Well, why not? Well, I can't get the comforter off the bed in the thing in the washing machine with the thing in the middle. If you do, it tears it to pieces. No.
It's kind of true. I guess you got a point on that comforter situation, but.
Mm-hmm. And I'm a cleaner. So if it doesn't fit in the dishwasher or the washing machine, then I have to wash it by hand. And we don't want too much shit we got to wash by hand, okay?
No, I understand. I can. Yep. But like, even pick the water level. It does it itself.
Right. You don't have to. It has a sensor inside. It knows how much water it needs.
What?
I promise.
Put water in something. Wash something in a whole bunch of water. Get it real clean. I don't like not having choices.
That is leaving too big a carbon footprint on the planet. You are not being water responsible, Joe.
Right.
Love you, Joe.
Love you too, Chris.
Good. I'm sure I'm glad of that. Hey, so look, this is a funny story, right? Real quick. This is going to tell you guys how ditzy I am. See, I don't have much hair, but what y'all don't know is when I was really young, I was born with blonde hair, and at 7 years old, all my hair fell out. It came back kind of brownish. But anyway, that's another story. I don't have any hair because I have blonde roots. Y'all just can't see it. It's so blonde you can't see it. That's what it is. But here's the funny story. I had to call the Chrysler store today, okay, because the travel vehicle doesn't get used all that often, right? So 6 months ago or more, maybe 7, we had the oil changed in the the soccer mom's van, and so the little thing on the dash is the computer on the dash is saying change oil, change oil, change oil. Well, we've only put like 540 miles on the van. So I had to call because, back in the day, seriously, if you had a muscle car or something, you changed the oil 6 months, you changed it because it broke down. Broke down. So I didn't know. I was like, well, it has been a while. I'll call the dealership. I called the dealership and asked them, did I need to bring it in and have the oil changed, or were we going to be all right? And he's like, oh, no, today's oil doesn't break down like that. It's synthetic, and you'll be fine, and blah, 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 blah. And I'm, then I felt like I was about this tall, y'all. The blonde really came out, because who calls and asks the dealership, do you need an oil change?
Well, did they just reset the light?
No, they didn't reset the light. They said just drive it.
Yeah, but then they see that light all the time.
Well, it's not a light. It's a message that goes across the dash, but it only comes up when you first crank it.
Okay.
So
yeah,
it's got this media center type thing.
Yeah.
Dude, it's way smarter than I am.
Oh, right on.
I don't care.
I took the dash out of a car one time just to take the light bulb out of the
service engine.
It annoyed me.
Funny story. Done that.
Things like, the third O2 sensor on the car that's down by the catalytic converter that has nothing to do with anything at all except telling you, I don't know.
Service engine soon.
Yeah, you're like, no, just pull the light bulb. That's how you fix it. You're like, no, yes. Joe, that doesn't. Yeah, it fixed it for me.
It fixed it. It fixed it fine.
I'm not annoyed anymore. Like, this is wonderful.
Yeah, I'm one of those guys too. I absolutely positively cannot stand for a light to be on that's not supposed to be.
Yeah. Exactly.
Like I'm even that guy that when I turn the cruise on and I'm driving down the road and then I just happen to glance down and I'm like, oh shit, a light. I mean, excuse me. Oh my God, there's a light, right? And then I realized, oh, stupid, that's the cruise light.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway, it's all good,
Yep.
you know. All right, look, y'all. Kryptogenics has some stuff that's going to be changing. Changes are coming. Changes are coming.
Oh.
It's all good. You know, it is all good. Here's the thing. What happened? What changed? Well, Mr. Stephen McCullough is going to start doing Wednesday night calls every week. That's what changed.
I knew that.
Dude, we got to build that up, man.
Oh, no. Everybody's going to be there. They'll be fine.
Yeah. Look, y'all.
What are we going to do, like 7 o'clock Central Standard?
No. I think he's either going to do 8 or 9 Eastern, I think. So, Dawn, I know you're on here. Are we doing 8 or are we doing 9 for Wednesday nights? Because we're going to do one this Wednesday night, and then we're not doing one next Wednesday night because both Steve and I will be out and about.
Yeah.
So, also there's some other stuff that we want to talk about too, and that is
I looked at the blog. I didn't see anything new.
No, it's not. But we want to make sure that people are understanding that these training calls and stuff on Saturday, they're not for us, y'all. They're for you guys. So, you know, when Mark J gives up an hour of his time, it might be beneficial to be there. I mean, I'm just saying, you know. I don't know how many people were there Saturday. I had a previous commitment. I was not.
Me too.
However, 9. Okay, thank you, darling. 9. So okay. Wednesday, 9 o'clock, which is our normal presentation time. I thought we were going to replace the presentation time on Wednesdays.
That works out.
That works good because everybody is already going there anyway, so it gives them the opportunity to go. So, and then whenever someone in your upline, sideline, downline partnership of your business takes time out to do any type of training or whatever, you know, I'm just going to say this, and God forgive me and all the little pygmies in New Guinea, but, you know, when I take time out of my schedule to do training, and then everybody wants to know if it's going to be recorded. Now, don't get me wrong. I understand that everybody has a life, okay? But when it's repetitively the same people always asking if there's a recording, it gets a little bit annoying sometimes, okay? Because that is a signal. That's communication. That's communication, and it's communicating the message that you're not taking your business seriously enough and that you feel like your time is worth more than everybody else's time. So you'll just get the recording and do it at your leisure. Well, let me tell you something. If you want your business to grow, if you want your business to be successful, then you got to put a little something into it other than just getting a recording. Okay. I mean, I'm just saying. So my apologies to the Core 5 for not being able to make Mark J's training on Saturday. As everybody here probably knows, when there is something going on, I'm usually there, whether it's mine or not, simply because I want to know what's going on. I'm nosy that way, okay?
But either, could you?
What's that?
Couldn't go to it either, could you?
No. But that's the first thing I've missed.
With the people in way different time zones, though, that's not really directed at you.
Yeah, that's,
you know what I mean. We went 3:30 in the morning to watch something.
No, it's not directed at people that, you know. I don't want people to get up in the middle of the night to watch a training.
Time personally, because it's 9 o'clock Eastern time stuff is way too late for me. I like to go to bed around 10. I'm just like, you know, I just kind of think the world should revolve around me. I'm just throwing that out there.
Yeah.
I mean, but I don't see, there's nothing wrong with wanting it to.
It's all good. All good.
Like, I'm communicating, everybody. See?
Exactly. There you go. It's a communication thing.
Like, yeah,
that I'm glad you said that, Joe, because that's not directed at those folks that, we have international team, and that's a little bit different. And
yeah,
I don't know about other companies, but at Cryptogenics, we do our very best to accommodate everybody.
we
Um,
really,
and so I think that it goes without saying that we would never expect anyone to get up in the middle of the night,
right.
to catch a live something or another. But it was more really directed towards our United States folks, and I'm just kind of picking on them right now. But at the end of the day, you know, you can take it for what it's worth. I'm not fussing at anybody. I'm just making a broad statement. If the
Yeah.
shoe fits, buy it in every color and wear it proudly is all I can say. Um,
Oh, and I
you
mean,
know,
I don't
but
feel bad.
I
Well,
I I I would like to proactively get more people involved.
yeah,
I know it's summer, guys. I do, really. But it doesn't take a whole lot. A lot of these things you can just log into and listen, you know, and then get the recording if you think it's something noteworthy that you need to take notes for. You can always go back and get the recording to do the notes and stuff. So just making a broad statement, not meaning to offend anyone, just making people aware of what it looks like from the other side.
it's talked about earlier. Like, step out of your bubble and look. And so try and pick out what you're doing. Because I was having this conversation with Gloria. I was like, man, I can tell you everything I do wrong. You know what I mean? Am I willing to change most things? Not really. You know what I mean? That's just it. I mean, I'm like, no, some things are just the way I am. That's just all there is to it. And I like being that way. Is it the right thing? Probably not. I know it's not. I mean, but no. I'm going to erase everything that I am. You know what I mean? I'm not taking an eraser to me, but and we actually had this conversation with her yesterday.
How
About,
funny.
yeah, I was like, man, I get it. Like, I know how to do everything pretty much the right way. I mean, not every, you know what I mean, though. Like,
You could get through life okay.
yeah, just fine. Yeah, yeah. And sometimes I don't. I mean, I'm like, no, I'm not. No, I'm not going to go be nice to that person, even though I should. I'm not going to. I just do. They rub me the wrong way, and that's all there is to it.
That's all there is to it. So
Sorry.
there is another update with KGX, just so everybody knows. If you log into your Cryptogenics account and you log into your back control panel, there is a button down at the bottom they call Tools. And it's right beside the free training. It's back office free training, tools, blog, funnel, KGX leaders, mining, and pay now. Okay. So when you go there, you can go to tools, click on it, and you will now see that the videos there have been rearranged. Now, they've been rearranged because they're more in the order in which it's good for our new folks coming in to do.
Brandon.
And that was a brainstorm. That was a communication thing, okay? At the end of the day, whenever you find something that might work a little easier, we're in the field, y'all, okay? So being in the field, we run into things, we trip, we stump our toes, we spend 3 hours with a new person when we could have spent 30 minutes, those kind of things. If there are things that you guys that you need to, you bring them to the attention of folks. It's not always going to be a changeable solution, but at least if you bring something to somebody's attention and it's an unchangeable event, you'll at least get the answer as to why it is such a thing. Okay. So I wanted everybody to know that those videos are now in order, that you can actually send your new people. Okay. Send your new people to tools. All right.
Right.
And let them watch the first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the first 5 videos.
See him?
Thanks, Joe. Appreciate that.
Yep.
The first 5 videos will get them started. And then what Joe and I are going to be doing is compiling an email that will go out to all new recruits immediately. And what it's going to say is basically, we appreciate them joining. We look forward to building a business with them. We want to be one of the first to congratulate them on their new business adventure. And if they will go to their Cryptogenic site, log into the back office, and watch the first 5 videos and complete the task attached to each one. When they complete that, they can get back to us, and we'll be glad to take them through the next step. This is going to cut down your time drastically, guys. Okay? Drastically. What's that?
Because there's nothing going through one of these things for 2 hours and somebody go, I don't have the money. You're like, what? Like, now you're telling me?
And they're in another country, and you've stayed up for 3.5 hours past your bedtime to accommodate them.
You can think of, call everybody you know to try and figure out how to fund to fund it.
Yep.
You're like, I mean, it's a good learning experience. I mean, you know how to do stuff then, but at the same time, sometimes you got to know when to cut them loose. You know
exactly.
I mean? You know, you don't yoke around your neck kind of thing, you know.
So I would encourage everybody to become unstoppable. I don't know how many folks here are in the book club with Albert. I did not attend that meeting today. There was just no way for me to fit everything into my schedule. I will not be there next Monday either. So just letting everybody know. But the thing is that this book is phenomenal in the fact that it helps you to be able to see, you know, the different types of people and what you're dealing with. And, you know, if you're a game changer, if you're unstoppable, you're going to be able to identify all those different people, but you're also going to be able to help all those people become game changers themselves, which is really, really important. If you're not in the book club, you know, grab a copy of the book. You can get an electronic copy and read it. Unstoppable. It's got red letters, Unstoppable, down the front cover. I would definitely recommend it. It's been a good read. I finished it already. I'm really happy that Albert brought that to my attention. What's that?
That was funny because you told him what it looked like.
Yeah.
No, it's
down the middle.
Guys,
yep.
Just look up the word on look the damn book
up. Hey, Joe.
Come on.
Guess what, buddy?
Body now.
Guess what, buddy?
What? I feel better now.
Nobody in the world loves you as much as your co-host does. Maybe your wife, maybe.
I don't know. You're not on here. I think she's just listening.
Did you take some Sudafed? Because you're sounding like you're a dryer.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah. See, yeah. I told you.
It worked.
Yep. All right.
Beginning of this, I wasn't feeling good at all.
Yeah, your eyes were even droopy at the beginning, but now you can tell you feel better.
I peaked up.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. So, give these people an idea of what you're going to be doing when you're hosting these things and doing stuff.
What are you talking about? What?
You know, I might go MIA.
Oh, you're going. Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. Oh man, we're going to talk about all kinds of cool stuff. We're going to do a round table and
sweet.
We're going to start right here, and then we're going to go into a Zoom so I can see it. And we're going to sit here and we're going to talk about this ICO situation. And if I can look everybody in the eyes, I'm going to make everybody turn the cameras on. So I'm like, you guys are looking at me, I'm going to look at you. I'm like, hey, listen to this. Chris isn't here to shut me up. So I'm going to tell you all kinds of stuff.
I am going to do my best to attend, but you know, when you're out and about, you know, you don't know what the reliability is going to be or what your itinerary is going to look like. That could be a big issue too, you know? So all I know is there are 5 different places I'll be sleeping at least. So we love you guys.
Like, I know what you're doing. Can't say it. It's really cool. Yeah, I know, Don. Allergies are terrible this year. This is ridiculous.
Hey, Joe. Tell all these wonderful people how much they mean to us.
Oh, it's 2. Oh, wow. That's time. Oh, guys, we love you. You mean the world to us. Hey, seriously, though, let's get together and do like a round table deal. And we're going to teach everybody how to build an ICO. Because it'd be fun. We can all get on Zoom. It's something fun that we can do as a group. and this is the thing, guys, when you work together with people to actually do something, not just go over a program we're all in or talk about the training we're all in. If we're all working hand in hand, really doing something,
Correct.
that we want, and then it forms a better bond.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Chance to get to know each other. And to be honest with you, from Chris's and I's perspective, it's really good to know the audience because then we know what to talk about. You know what I mean? It's when there's both of us on here, we can just go back and forth. But when there's just one, it's kind of difficult. I mean, it really is because you're like, I don't know what to talk about.
I agree.
We loosely have topics that we talk, we're like, okay, well, blah, 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 okay. And then we'll run through a whole bunch of stuff, But I don't know. Oh, we got to go, though. It's time. Sorry, guys. We
love you guys. See you later. Have a great day.
Feeling better. Happy birthday, Brad.
Brad Theed.
Yep, Brad Theed. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, buddy. See you guys soon.
See y'all later.